Shots have been fired in the Strait of Hormuz, and things are getting testy real fast. And some people say that the ceasefire is at risk. Well, I think it's a little bit more than the ceasefire being a risk. If this don't heat up, then I'll be greatly surprised because shots were fired at the United Arab Emirates. Shots were allegedly fired at U.S. warships that crossed the Strait of Hormuz, and shots were fired at a empty UAE oil tanker. And there was an explosion on a South Korean cargo ship in the engine room, which they claim they don't know what the sources are, which may be firing from the Iranians. We don't know yet. But Donald Trump, used that as an excuse to compel South Korea to join the war. Like they don't have a whole lot to worry about with North Korea breathing down their neck on one side and maybe China on the other. So South Korea is probably pretty occupied, although maybe they would put a token force into the war. But here's the thing. So Donald Trump had instituted his Project Freedom Sunday. He said that the United States was going to militarily escort cargo ships through the Strait of Hormuz due to a humanitarian purpose, because he claimed that a lot of the guys were actually, and on these ships were actually starving, that they were running out of food, maybe not starving, but running out of food, and things were reaching a crisis point. So these ships needed to get out of the Persian Gulf, and maybe some in the Strait of, or actually in the Oman, Gulf of Oman, needed to get into the Gulf because you'd think there'd be supplies in the Persian Gulf. So maybe that was actually the case. They were trying to get them into the Persian Gulf, not out. But here's the thing. Apparently, there were 3 missiles intercepted by the UAE over the waters coming in toward the UAE. And apparently there were 4 drones that were attacking toward UAE. And apparently 3 Indians were wounded in the attack on a UAE oil refinery. So a lot's going on. We got a lot of people in the room coming in already. That's good. So what's happened here? I hope I got this thing muted. Give me a second. Make sure I'm muted here. I have been fighting computers tonight. I mean, literally fighting these computers. No, that's not muted. Hang on, I gotta mute that before I pull this up. Ding, ding, ding. Sorry about that, guys. I'm opening the chat room over here. So what's happened is that Donald Trump authorized the military to fire on anybody that fired on the American military vessels or on the ships they were escorting. Automatic license to fire them, return fire. And they sunk 7 Iranian small boats, fast boats, the ones we've talked about in the past. 7 of them were sunk. So we've had fires exchanged both ways. Both ways. So it is getting interesting. It's a little after midnight. Yeah, it's a little bit worse than that even here. So guys, here's what happened. The 7 Iranian fast boats were sunk. There was a hit on a UAE tanker. There's allegedly something that happened to a South Korean ship, an explosion in the engine room. You can't hit the engine room from outside. We shot, intercepted a boat that way, not, about a week or 2 ago. So, pardon me, the situation is starting to boil. Now, all this might be done as a prelude to maybe Donald Trump wants to attack, and he's just hoping he's got more of an excuse to attack before he does it. Or is he trying to get away with not engaging militarily? It's kind of hard to say right now. Everybody thought that we were gearing up for attack, but they've let the USS Gerald, the USS Ford, out of the Red Sea. It's now in the Mediterranean. It's on its way back home. We said it had a short time. The crew, it was advised against actually sending them there in the first place because they'd already had quite a duty with Venezuela. They were having some problems on the ship, and they had more problems once they got into the Mediterranean. He had fire in the galley or the kitchen or somewhere. And what happened was they went to, I believe, Crete or Greece and got this thing repaired and went back out. But, the morale for some of the troops there on that ship was pretty low. They've been out at sea for over 300 days, longest deployment since the Vietnam War. But this is war. And when you join the service, you got to know that these kind of things can happen. Sorry about the late hours, guys. I thought I was going to be early tonight. I thought I was going to surprise y'all and come on. Hey, we got a super chat. Well, thank you. That's a nice way to start the night off. Patriot B1117. Salute you. Nice way to get the night started. Appreciate that. So, guys, here's the deal. The Ford, the USS Gerald Ford, was really long in the tooth, so they went home. I thought the attacks would start before they sent them back. In fact, they sent them back. First, I said, we didn't need 3 aircraft carriers to attack if we chose to do that. And it's possible that some of the planes on it could still support activities with refuel, but they're so far, according to what I'm seeing on the fleet tracker, they're so far into the Mediterranean now that that's kind of hard for me to see that if the fleet tracker map is correct. I'll show you that in a little bit, guys. So if they're that far into the Mediterranean, I think they're out of the game. They're booking. They're trying to get home. I'm surprised if they're trying to get home like that they didn't put it in the port somewhere and put some of them guys on planes. Everybody's not essential. If you're not in combat role, everybody on that ship is no longer essential. You would think maybe they would give some guys some opportunity for some relief and let them fly home early. I don't know. Yeah, it's early for you guys. It's late for me. Really late. I really debated about coming on, but I've had all my articles strung up. I'd been working on this. I thought I was going to be early. Anyway, so guys, let me get back to the news for a coffee cup, guys, and then I will engage the chat room. I will keep my eye out here for super chats. Again, thank you, Patriot B1117. Anyway, so let's get on with it. Russia is an interesting topic right now. Vladimir Putin is spending a lot of time in his bunkers, apparently, and he is not making so many public appearances. And they're toning down their Victory Day parade. And all this apparently is because there's a lot of discontent within Russia. And there's even rumors that Sergei Shoigu, he's been, his right-hand military man for a long time, might be planning to take Putin out. There's a lot of discontent because the economy there is doing really bad. The war has turned bad for them because of drones. Drones are such a big game changer in the whole metric of warfare. We're not prepared for that either. Our military is not prepared. We're not prepared as a people right here in our homeland. And I've done 2 videos on that already. And a lot of people just don't get what that means. And I'm trying to warn people, drones are changing everything big time. And we've just got to get ready for it. There's just so much at stake there that people aren't aware of how big of a game changer. The threats to our power grid, the threats from the agricultural drones, things I've been trying to warn you guys about for a long time. And hardly nobody watched those videos, which really, really kind of surprised me. Speaking of that, how many watching now? Only 48? Wow. My viewership on this channel is going to 0, apparently. I mean, it's going to be where nobody watches because nobody gets notifications anymore, apparently. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. When we get through the news stuff. We're going to have to take some active action, make sure we get some more viewership here on the channel. So, and I'm going to need your help for that. Anyway, basically, You got to come look and see what I got on the channel, because it's getting to the point YouTube ain't gonna tell nobody that I'm on live or I put up a video, because I'm getting all kind of people saying, "Oh, we don't get no videos. We don't see it. We haven't seen no videos." I got some guy say, "Oh, you're on YouTube? You just put out a video? I hadn't heard from you in forever." Not really. This kind of messages I'm getting. So I think they've put me in a bucket with Chris Chappell over China Uncensored, but I think I'm lower on the pecking order than them. Anyway, so our government are drones. I think they're zombies. Anyway, so let's get over and look at some of these newsy articles, and we'll get on with that stuff. But that's what I'm saying. The drones are a big game changer, and the Ukrainians, what they did is they first aimed for the radars and air defense systems, trying to take them out. And upon taking them out, they started penetrating deeper into Russia with their drones. And that's exactly what they're doing. And they're hitting the oil refineries. They're hitting the economic engine of Russia and hitting them hard. It's the same thing we're actually kind of sort of doing with Iran by choking off the Strait of Hormuz, which is going to be more acute in Iran real fast. But apparently the Iranians, they're got a religious order regime there. They don't have that in Russia. Iran's a special case. They can probably endure a lot more stuff than all these other places. So, honestly, Greg, I'd be happy to put a bit of time to help in the channel. All right, thank you. Appreciate that. Hey, Devin, how you doing? Devin used to work for me back in Alabama. He was living up in Tennessee. But, I was right at the border practically. I spent more time in Tennessee than I probably did Alabama when I was going back and forth. Let's go shopping. Anyway, notifications are routine. That's good. Some of you are getting them, and a lot of people aren't. So that's what we'll have to talk about a little bit. Anyway, let's get into the news, and we'll come back to that. Before we go in the news, there's other ways y'all can help me and help yourself too, if I can find the share button here. I had some issues with my computer, issues with Zoom. I'll talk about all that a little bit. So here we are. So something I've talked about a lot. Why in the world is it not lighting up green around it? Am I actually sharing what I think I'm sharing? It usually puts a green box around. That's odd. Anyway, maybe I can see here in a minute. So here's the deal. It's about to come up. I think I'm seeing black screen. Okay, there it is. I got a delay over here. So I talked to you guys about the contaminants in your consumer products quite a bit. I'm going to do some more special videos on that, hopefully in the next week or two. But the thing is, there's, tons of chemicals in these products, and there's other contaminants like heavy metals. I've covered toothpaste in the past and talked about how so many brands of toothpaste, 90% of them have heavy metals. That report didn't cover the chemicals that's in them, by the way, just so you all know. The heavy metal contamination was off the chart in brands that were made specifically for children, brands that were specifically labeled as healthy. And it was a real eye-opener. I showed you the test reports on that. And, here's the thing. That stuff you put in your mouth. What's even less regulated is stuff you put on your skin, your lotions, your shampoo, your dish detergent, all this stuff you use on a daily basis. When you put something on your skin, like when you're washing dishes, when you're putting on lotion, sunscreen, all the makeup, ladies and gentlemen, that stuff is not regulated like that at all. But yet that stuff soaks through your skin and goes to your bloodstream, especially makeup, you ladies. You don't need makeup probably in the first place, but a lot of you are wearing it anyway. Thank you, New Days, for sharing my link there. So that's where we're going, switchgreg.com. Sausage gravy. Yeah, I love that. SOS in the Army is what we called it, but I grew up eating it on a biscuit. In the Army, it was on a slice of bread. SOS. Oh. Something on a shingle, except it was a 4-letter word, not something. All righty, guys. And it rhymed with it, if you know what I mean. So that's what we called it in the Army. Cats attacking my ankles down here. Anyway, so what we got to know is these brands have been bought out. over 550 of them are now owned by just 12 major conglomerate corporations. And these corporations have changed the formulations in a lot of these things to make them cheaper and last longer on the store shelf. And that's a lot of chemicals is what it really boils down to. So, guys, if that's what you want, if you want to keep buying stuff that's bad for you, just keep going to big box stores and, you know, the 7-Elevens and getting this junk. I'm going to tell you, it's not good for you. And when you buy this stuff, you're supporting the House of Klaus, because these 12 companies have major control in them, controlling interest. Oh, why is it doing this to me? I hate it when this does that. Anyway, it's the three major asset management companies. The principal among them is BlackRock. I guess this don't want to load tonight. Anyway, we'll go on, which is run by Larry Fink. I had that page up. When I opened it up, it was shiny. That's what I hate. A lot of times I'll have a page open. Look at it. It looks fine. When I come back to show it, you know, whatever. So, well, one way to get away from that is to go to switchwithgreg.com. If you come to switchwithgreg.com, I set this website up myself. Took me a little while, a few buckaroonies, but we get you set up with a family-owned corporation, no big corporate conglomerates, a family-owned corporation right here in America. All the products are made right here in America, supporting American jobs. They're non-toxic. They don't put all that chemical junk in there, and they tested extensively for consumer safety. So that's a good thing about it, supporting jobs here. So go to switchwithgreg.com, fill this out. The information just comes to me and one other person. I share it with Lisa. She's a member of our community, and she'll bring you on board. So Lisa is really good at that. In any event, let's get back to the news now. So again, U.S. sunk 7 of the Iranian fast boats. They're saying small. We always call them fast boats before today, and now all the articles are saying small boats. I don't know why. They're changing the lingo. So here's the thing. Those, and there was also some missiles intercepted and drones apparently intercepted coming toward the U.S. warships. Now, the Iranians had claimed that they had struck the USS Abraham Lincoln. Fat chance. It wasn't going through the Strait of Hormuz, and it's far enough out in the Gulf of Oman that the Iranian stuff may be sophisticated, but it's not sophisticated. You know, they can put a missile on target, but hitting a moving target, especially when you're fired from that far away, they're just not going to make that happen. They don't have that kind of target and sophistication. So they didn't hit the USS Abraham Lincoln. They claimed they hit some of our couple of our destroyers, and CENTCOM said, nope, didn't happen. Dan Cooper, he's the admiral there. He says it didn't happen. We didn't get hit at all. But there was a hit, as I mentioned, on now there was 2 ships that passed safely through the Strait of Hormuz. 2 made it, besides our destroyers that went through. So show appreciations. It's always appreciated. So I'll come back and check out the chat in a minute. Anyway, guys, things are going down. It's probably about to pick up again. 7 struck. And I've started using this ground news. One of them on my main news aggregator that I've been using for a long time. Today, it got stuck in ads that I couldn't even get out of them. They wouldn't let me get out of the ads. So I just deleted the whole app. Said, the heck with you. The heck with you. So I switched over to ground news. Ground news don't update as fast, though, but it's got a lot of comprehensive stuff in it. You hear a lot of other YouTubers brag on it all the time because they're selling it to you. I don't have any affiliate relationship with them. But it will tell you if things are from the left side, the center, the right on your articles, what the bias is. This is like a summary of the news, and you can go down here and you can click various articles that they within that topic area. So brand news is okay. It's not as fast updating as the one I was using, but you throwing ads at me that I can't get out of, I'm done. I deleted the app. And I get tired of that kind of stuff. Now I don't mind an ad, but when I can't get out of it, I mean like long time. It had an error, but that was enough for me. I just deleted it. So two U.S. Can't talk tonight. It's late for me. Early for you, late for me. Anyway, like I said, the two U.S. destroyers did make it through. It says after dodging Iranian onslaught, they were firing at them, but they didn't hit them apparently. So, and the two destroyers were the USS Truxton and the USS Mason, supported by Apache helicopters and other aircraft. Now, you can bet if there were any missiles being fired from shore, you would have had one of the first planes you'd have seen coming off the USS Abraham Lincoln would have been the EA 18 fighter. Actually, it's electronic warfare plane that would have went out and sniffed out wherever these came from. They also have electronic spoofing capabilities, and they would have been used to target, to identify, and have targets come in from the F-18 E's and F's that are actually also on the Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln's got a lot of F-18s. The Air Force has F-35s in the area they could have put to use. So that's what you would have seen primarily. I don't know what would be coming off the USS H.W. Bush, but the Ford is on its way home. So I don't think we'll be getting anything off the Ford. But the Apache helicopter is quite an attack helicopter for like fast boats. It can make mincemeat out of them. And we also know that A-10 warthogs in the area to do the same job. They're kind of like little can openers when it comes to those fast boats. And talking about can openers, I got something to show you in a little bit. All right, guys. So this. So Iran opened fire on USS warships. Now, this article's a little older. It said 6 small boats. The word now is 7. So that's what happens in the news. It changes, as you're updating and pulling your articles up, the news changes. Uh-oh, we got this thing stuck. Oh, I hate it when they do that. I'm back on the bigger, what's supposed to be more powerful computer. And these guys stuck more on this one than they did a little computer. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe it'll unstick here in a minute. I may have to stop the share to get it to unstick. Wow, guess I will. And I bet you my memory's not maxed out either. I don't know. It's some fluke. I don't know what this fluke is or why I don't have my. Yeah, I just rebooted this computer. I was having problems with Zoom. I've had a lot of problems trying to get this broadcast out tonight. Anyway, I'm just going to stop this share for a minute. See if that breaks the cycle here with my mess here. Nope, it's not breaking the cycle. It is stuck. I'm going to minimize it and reopen it. I'm not killing it. I'm just doing various tricks to try to get it to work. Oh, it totally blew that article out, I think. Yeah. Interesting. It's hard to do this. Hard to do it. All right, guys, let me come back in here. Re-hit. I don't see any other YouTuber have so much trouble. They're stupid when they do what I do going through tabs. I've seen, there are a couple other YouTubers that do the same thing. That's where I got the idea of some other YouTubers that have emulated, like Diamond over at Oppenheimer Ranch Project. But I haven't seen anybody have so many problems with their scrolling through tabs. Anyway, so as I said, 3 Indian citizens were wounded by the attack on the UAE oil facility. Let's see if we can get some of these other articles to point up. And Trump, he just said, hey, guys, well, we can blow Iran off the face of the earth, for attacking U.S. ships. So maybe that's what he's looking for, an excuse to start hammering them. I don't know. A lot use StreamYard and yeah, I gotta try out some StreamYard. I started to one time, but always when you gotta learn a new tool, that's another hit on time. But this is killing me. I'll see if StreamYard can do better. There's another one out there too. It's Riverside, which is used for live streaming. It's got some editing capabilities. I just put editing software on this little computer. I paid for it. I don't have it on this computer because I did not expect to get this thing back. And I wasn't, and well, I'll go on that a little bit. I'll go on. Let's get through the news. For our coffee drinkers in the morning, tensions rise. UAE accused of attacking, no, the UAE accuses Iran of attacking this ADNOC oil tanker. And it was the Brock, what do you call it? It's the name of it's down here. Baraka. I don't know if you call it Baraka or Baraka. I suppose that's Baraka. So that was a name, and it was hit with drones. But it was fortunate it was an empty oil tanker, so it must have been on its way into the Gulf of the Persian Gulf. So apparently that was one of the ones that was stranded out in the Gulf of Oman. Maybe the folks were getting hungry. StreamYard was free up to 6 people on the stream. Well, we'll have to see. How long can you use it? Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out some other stuff. So US says 2 American flagged merchant vessels have transited the Strait of Hormuz. Pardon me, guys, it's late for me. I've been fighting computers all night. So I thought we had the names of them. We got the name of one of them. They named both. One company's claimed one of theirs made it through. But Israel, who would think Israel would be ready to attack? Who would have thunk it? Of course, Israel's always ready to attack. They're ready to attack anybody, anywhere, anytime. Yeah. Chomping at the bit. They've been wanting to attack. They've been just begging for the go word on that. Don't know what's up with not seeing the sleeping thing. I don't know. Just one of those things. Everybody needs to try to get some sleep. My problem is I'm going to bed late. The sun comes up at 5:30 in the morning. My rooster starts crowing about 4:30, and I'm going to bed about 4 if I'm lucky. I don't know tonight. I'm going to be hard pressed to do that. So anyway, the Maersk ship is one of the ones. So Maersk is a freight ship freight and what do we say company. And so one of their ships made it through. I got one of their shipping containers there. It says Maersk on the side of it. So one of their ships made it through, and it was the Alliance Fairfax was the name of it. It's a roll-on, roll-off ship, kind of like what China is planning to use to attack Taiwan. So 2 American flagged merchant vessels made it through under Project Freedom, but we do know the name of one of them at least now. The Alliance Fairfax. So this operation has been somewhat successful, but not entirely. Problem is, insurance rates will still be so high, most won't want to try it if there's any risk of their ships being attacked. Here it is, USS Gerald Ford is operating in the Mediterranean Sea. Is it really operating, or is it just the operating is booking home? I think that's what its operating is right now. It's transited the Suez Canal last week. Okay. Heading back out. We knew it went in. But anyway, look at this map here. Why does it always scroll like that? It looks like it's well underway here. It's nowhere near the Red Sea. It's way up here already. So that took a little time. So we're just getting word on that now. Anyway, we got the Abraham Lincoln and George H.W. Bush and the USS Tripoli. The USS Tripoli is that amphibious attack boat, which in this case don't have the water well for the amphibious landing craft, and it's all aircraft based. And it's got more room for extra aircraft maintenance, and a hospital inside of it instead of that water well, which is on a lot of the different amphibious attack boats, like the USS Boxer, which is down there. There was only two made like the AAA. I forget the name of the other one. Is it the Vincent? Is it the USS Vincent? I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly. I couldn't remember the name of the AAA the other night. But anyway, so the AAA is quite a little miniature aircraft carrier. They claim because it's smaller that U.S. Navy would take more risk with it. It's got that 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit, which has been really busy intercepting ships that's been trying to run the blockade, interdicting, you might say. So I got the George Washington over here, keeping an eyeball on China. And why we got the Nimitz down all the way down here? Oh, yeah, I think it just went around straight down there. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think it come out of San Diego and has transited the straight down here. And it's probably on its way over here. It may be trying to come up this way. I don't know. It's pretty high north. I thought well, maybe it's hugging the coastline and we'll buck across. Let's see what the Nimitz does. Well, after what they tried to decommission the Nimitz, they told us that the Nimitz would never sail again a few months ago. But then I got checking their books, and legally, the U.S. Navy is required to have, I believe it's 11 aircraft carriers, and if they had mothballed it, they wouldn't have had it. So they had to put it back out to sea. And the Nimitz is quite a historical aircraft carrier. It was the first in the Nimitz class. If you ever saw the movie The Final Countdown, it was based on the USS Nimitz. That was a great movie. I loved it. Made what back in the 80s, I guess. And it went back in time and faced the Japanese at Pearl Harbor. He had some big decisions to make about how to handle that situation in that movie. It was a good movie. But it's also the movie, not the movie, it's the aircraft carrier, which in 14 November 2004 suddenly had a lot of Tic Tac UAPs flying around it for about 2 weeks. And it's, the Carrier Strike Force group also had the USS Princeton in it, which had that Spy 1 radar, which actually saw UAPs drop in from over 80,000 feet to sea level in less than a second on the radar. I just covered that on a video that I just posted, what's still today to me, yesterday on my Galactic Greg's channel. I should pull that up for everybody to see that. I'll do that when we go in and start the chat session. No, I'll do it now so we can see it. Hang on a minute, guys. I'm going to pull that up. I won't have it. I'm not going to show it immediately. I'm going to show this other stuff first. But I'm going to, yeah. Let's see. Give me a second. I'm just going to have it ready to look at. Give me a second. I don't have to type in all that. We don't have to actually switch. Just got to go there. All right, it'll be ready to look at in a second. Pardon me for all that delay. Let's come back over here. Where we're at here, we're fleet trackers. All right, let's go. Oh, y'all seeing what I'm doing? I'm still in share mode. I forget sometimes. I forget I'm in share mode. Pardon me. So U.S. is suffocating Iran with economic blockade. Bassett says they're starting to have hunger. So, yeah, some people, there's a clock ticking. There's only so far that Iran can survive this blockade. I don't know what that picture is. But anyway, so, and Bassett is calling this Operation Economic Fury. And he's putting some hard pressure on them. It's hard, this is hard to imagine the war fighting capabilities that the Secretary of Treasury has at his fingertips. It's so much economic pressure. It's like war. And he's putting it to them. But anyway, but Khomeini has vowed to protect his nuclear program and said he's going to get the United States out of the Gulf Coast. There'll be no United States down there. I hope I can find that video. I think I got to transfer it back to this computer. The Iran's got some secret weapons. I've discovered what they are. Maybe I can find the video on that in a little bit. Anyway, so yeah, the Iran is beating their chest. We're going to run the United States out, and we're going to do this, that, and the other. I think that is a lot of hot air, probably from eternal consumption of their own people more than anybody. So yeah, Iran makes outlandish new demands to reopen the strait and gives Trump a 30-day deadline. So Trump, you got 30 days to stop the war and get out of here. What are they going to do about it? And that's just more hot air. So there you are, guys. Iran's terror regime has shown its true face, according to this article. And this is what? The national interest. I don't know why we got all this Japanese looking writing up above us. It could be Korean. No, it's more Japanese, I think. But anyway, whatever it is, it's $25. Something they're trying to sell there. Yikes. It's an ad. Somebody thinks that's what I'm reading. They're running ads. And and probably Japanese. Oh Lord! I hope that this computer don't think I'm in Japan like my phone does. My phone thinks YouTube on my phone thinks it's in Japan, so I can't make it run on my Roku TV. Anyway, the United States cannot continue negotiating with a terrorist regime that violates ceasefires, attacks American allies, and weaponizes diplomacy. This article is calling for bombing Iran. Bomb, 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 bomb Iran. Bomb Iran. That's what this article is calling for. Now, when you pull this up on ground news, it's way over to the right on the political spectrum. Yeah, you're not going to hear this coming from the left side of the spectrum. Yeah, I did pull that up from ground news. So, stop that. Unsettled Kremlin, heightened security around Putin. Yeah, I was talking about assassination fears. They're apparently getting kind of concerned over there. That article wants to show me too much junk. Putin retreating to bunkers amid coup and drone fears. Is this next article now? Because the Sergei Shoigu. Nah, I don't know. I thought I had an article up about Sergei Shoigu. He is thought to be one of the prime people who might be gunning for Putin. Imagine that. I don't see it in this article, this listing here, but I have found it some. I read a ton of articles. I don't show you guys everything I read, not by a long shot. I read a bunch of stuff and then I figure out which ones I'm going to show you. That's how I do that. It's like an aircraft coming over. Whenever I hear anything out here, it gets my attention because it's really quiet out here where I'm at. Don't we hear any auto traffic? It's rare here in aircraft. And what I do, I take note. Gets my attention. Europe will not submit to insular brutal world, says Carney. So apparently Carney is Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney. He and Macaroni and they're all getting together with Keir Starmer, and they're plotting the future for Europe. And said, we're going to create a new little order over here. Yeah, probably their House of Klaus game, because they're all globalists. That's why they don't like the United States. That's why they're picking on the United States, especially under Trump, because they are globalists. If globalists are against Trump, then maybe I need to be more for him. Anyway, here's the thing we got to be worried about now. China deploys a full HQ-29 satellite killer missile in Beijing. Strategic move signals a new era of space and missile warfare balance. Well, the sad thing is, this is a kinetic interceptor, and it's got MIRV warheads on it for going after multiple satellites at one time. I think it said 17, yeah, 16 interceptors, 16 satellite interceptors on one missile. Now, the really sad thing about that, that's enough to start the Kessler syndrome, probably. The Kessler syndrome is where you get so much shrapnel in orbit and everything's going at 17,500 miles an hour. You get so much of that stuff up there, it can take out everything in orbit. It's really stupid to have interceptor kill vehicles for anti-satellite warfare. It would be better if they were using lasers and microwaves. I mean, you could use lasers just to blind. It don't blow it up at that distance. If you can put enough heat on an instrument, you might blind it or cause it to fail internally by putting enough heat on a satellite faster than it can reject it. At those distances, you're not going to cut through anything with a laser because lasers just aren't effective, but really, they're really short-range weapons. But if you fire them in space, they cohere a little better. But, you know, they've got a big microwave anti-satellite weapon, too. If they use this kill vehicle, they're really shutting down everybody's space programs, like for good or for a long, 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 long time. I'm kind of working up an idea for how to deal with that, but that's a whole nother thing. So, yeah, he knows how to use the power. Poppy Hacker, I think that's the case. All right, what we're going to do here now is we're getting into earthquakes. Things are shaking and baking. Oh, looky here, we got a big one down here in Mexico. 5.7. And I got no idea how you pronounce Zocoteaca. No idea. And the Banda C got a 5.3. I wonder how close that is to Banda Achi, where they had that big earthquake, Boxer Day, that after Christmas a few years ago caused that giant tsunami. Here's a 5.8. Got one in Australia. It's kind of rare you see them right in Australia. They're usually up in Indonesia or over at New Zealand. So Rodney's in the house. He's got some shaking today. In Japan, got a 5.2. Bunch of them in the Aleutian Islands. Oh, you got a brand new one. That just popped up. 5.8 in New Zealand. I just said there was nothing in New Zealand, didn't I? It just popped up. 5.8. And 127 miles, kilometers northeast of Pauadnu. I can't pronounce that. Anyway, and our Puerto Rican friends are dancing as usual. Got one down here in Nicaragua. And look at that. Got Carlton, Michigan, almost up at the Great Lakes. Of course, Alaska's always shaking. It's 2.7 and Salacha. Hey, I lived in Alaska 2 years. There's some of these towns. Alaska's so big, I don't even know all the towns in Alabama, to be honest, where I spent most of my life. So, I got to hear it said once. Cantwell, yeah, I can get that one, 2.8. If it's got an Anglo kind of name, I can pronounce it. And I can pronounce, there's cities in Laptown. There's no cities in Alaska except Anchorage. Fairbanks is kind of sort of a city. A lot of towns and villages in Alaska. Some of them with Indian names and Inuit names. Some got Russian names, and some are Anglo. Anyway, this is Vanoy landed 2.6. We got this one over here. And Yakutat, I think I got that right. Yakutat, did I say it right, Mag Rising? So a lot of shaking up in Alaska. But now look over here. The West Coast has got a lot of stuff going on. The left coast. And we got a regular daily earthquake again right here in Silver Springs, Nevada. It's like every day. It looks like we got about three of them over here. And Tonopah, Nevada. I don't know if I'm saying that right either, but that place has had earthquakes before. There we go. We got a 4.5. And we got some like right on the San Andreas Fault, a couple right here. Pensacola, California. The San Andreas is about to go. And I hear the Juan de Fuca plate is actually breaking up, this whole plate. Now, what's that going to mean? And we got some in Texas. Koyanusa. I don't know how you say that either. Midland, Texas. Yeah, I had a friend lives in Middle. Used to live in Midland, Texas. I don't know if she's still there or if she's still alive. I don't know. And Parasol, however you say that. So there we go. That's our earthquake news tonight and space weather. Now, some of what I'm hearing is a wind. When things start buffing, it's the wind. We've had a lot of wind today, a lot of wind today. So they had a surprise geomagnetic storm, a G2. They weren't expecting that. A little bit more aurora than I thought they would have. There's our sunspots today. I'm getting sleepy, guys. 2 o'clock in the morning. Got a lot to do. Now, what they're saying here is that we're overdue for a super flare bigger than an X10. So, what are they talking about? Like X30s? Is this an X30? Is that an X30? We had that big storm in 2012 that they thought was bigger than the Carrington event that missed us. So I like to see an index what all these different numbers are from the 1980s forward, because they're just sequentially numbered here, and why some up here and some are down here. There's a lot about this chart. Okay, it's northern hemisphere, but you can see a lot of storms back here, the big ones, and there's not a lot over here, but we're over here in 2026, and we got a very active sunspot cycle right now. And we had a calmer period. A lot of people thought we were heading for the grand solar minimum, but we've had a very active cycle lately. So this chart does not go far enough out. Well, yeah, it does not go far enough out. You encompass what's happening today. Asteroids. There are no asteroids on today's chart between the 29th of April, which is in the past, up to the 27th of June, which are passing between the Earth and the Moon. Don't mean we won't get some. There just was none on this chart. All right, let's talk about some videos. These are two videos that have been underwatched. I didn't even make 1,000 views on this one. 726, pretty pathetic. Even 1,100 is pretty pathetic. This is about the threat from agriculture drones. Been worried about you and your former employer, me taking missing. Well, if somebody's going to come down here to take me out, I might be feeding them to my worms. They might be donating themselves to worm food, which is a worthy cause for scumbags that want to take other people out. In any event, so y'all need to watch these two videos. This grid attack video, and both of these will blow your mind. It's a lot worse than you think. I go into details about how 15 agriculture drones are stolen. Now, those are recovered, but the operation was very professional. I mean, the guys had bill of sales and all kind of artificial paperwork, made it all look legit, and it wasn't. So then the other thing is that there was this the whole notion of how our grid can be attacked from drones, how vulnerable it is, will blow your mind. It will just blow your mind. And there's a Chinese bio threat. You need to watch that too. And there are some of my product safety videos. I ought to be doing more of those. So those are the posted videos. Now, over here on my Galactic Gregs, let's see. What's this? Yeah, the blue line is green Gregs. Look here, Galactic Gregs has started out performing green Gregs lately. Look at that. First time ever. Green Gregs is going down, but Galactic Gregs is coming up. Interesting. But not because of YouTube. I got some videos there that got a lot of views, but almost none from notifications because YouTube don't want to show anything I make. But people were browsing on Amy Eskridge primarily because of all the news coming out with regards to her passing. So if you come in here and you look at my latest videos, now this one hadn't got as many views as it should have got. There's that ship I was mentioned, the USS Princeton, the Spy 1 radar. So I highly encourage you to come and watch this video. Is anti-gravity real? You'll find it on my Green Greg's channel in the community post. I guess they now call it the post section. Used to be called the community section. This video here has done exceedingly well. And this is about Amy Eskridge specifically, the situation around her passing. And other videos in this topic area. But so this is one of my probably top 4 videos right now. It may be up to my top 3, but all my top 4, actually the top 4 videos all deal with Amy Eskridge. So imagine that. So there's something you might want to look at. And this one is really about Ning Lee. I just didn't put her name in. If I had it would have done a lot better. U.S. Army anti-gravity. And why, and this explains why they're probably going after people. Where's Elon's UFO? He is not allowed to have one. That's where it is. Why is that? If the richest man on earth can't have his own UFO, something's going on. So like a hit song. But what was that? Why is Paul Begley doing live streams about a S-45 sunspot? S-45? Well, let's go back over to the sunspots here. Yeah, but come in here and check out this anti-gravity real. That needs some more views on it, especially. If you hadn't seen these others, check them out. So let's do that. Let's go back over to space. Well, they ain't no S-45. They're all 4-digit numbers. But I don't know what Paul Begley's doing. He gets on a tear sometimes. S-45. We got S-4425. They're all 44 numbers. They're all in the 44s. Oh, here's a 4425 over here. Now, that one did throw out a sunspot. I'm not flare, but it's not facing us. So that is something. It's not a super sunspot. We're not looking at any super sunspots. Now, when it comes back around, any of these sunspots can grow or get smaller. It could do it. All righty, folks. That's enough of that stuff. Stop the share. So we've gone through the news. Let me check the chat room, and I'm going to tell you about my computer misadventures. And then, like I said, I'm going to find some eggs. I didn't put them near there's over there. I have to get up and get them. I'm going to get some coffee first. Where's the chat room at? Did I kill it? No, there it is. Now I pull the chat from directly in front of me, so I have to look on my shoulder to read it. All righty. Meg Rising, C. Shelley, New Days. Where's Arnold Davin? Yep, Davin used to work for me. You know, guys, I told you guys I had a crew of people that could really harvest worms, and then after 2020, didn't have that kind of a crew. It kind of did me in. Davin was part of the crew that really got the worms out. And his girlfriend at the time, my little girl, I don't know if they're still together or not. Hey, well, that's super chat. Thank you, C. Shelley. I much appreciate that. Thank you for all your work. Yeah, I worked hard to get this stuff out to you guys. Appreciate it, C. Shelley. Uh, Squeezing peat moss to get the moisture. So you had to soak it so all the moisture get all the fiber of the peat moss. But it couldn't be very moist when you shipped it. It had to have the moisture through and through because the worms breathe through the moisture. But you had to squeeze it real hard to get most of the moisture back out because if you left too much moisture in it, when you're shipping them, that will actually cook the worms on a hot day in the summertime. And most worm farmers never got it right. They couldn't get enough out, and they'd be sending you dead worms. So I really prided myself that we had the ability to squeeze it. Now, eventually, I had to come up with a mechanical press concept to make that work. I had to devise my own press box and everything to make that work. But before then, for years, we squeezed them by hand. And I'm going to tell you, there was only 3 people that could squeeze the worms right. Squeeze the worms. Squeeze the peat moss right. I could do it. I had a black guy that used to work for me named Eddie. He passed away. Eddie could do it. Lots of big guys, big strong guys, muscles, and they couldn't do it. They just couldn't squeeze that peat moss. But Davin's little tiny little girlfriend could do it. And it blew my mind. That girl could flat squeeze that peat moss. Couldn't she, Davin? You still with me, Davin? You still in the house? Yeah, she could flat squeeze that stuff. But, you know, that was amazing. She would squeeze that peat moss. And only me and Eddie could ever get it right before, but she could do it. Greg, I miss you, buddy. Hope everything is going well for you. If the crap hits the fan, can I come to Arizona with you? You still in the house, Davin? I bet he's gone because I haven't seen him pop up. Started talking about him. I don't see him popping up. Southern Grits, how you doing, Southern Grits? Good morning. Wars on oil, historical. It has more to it than oil, though. $4.69 a gallon. Well, it is now here. Closest store to me, I can actually get it for $4.45. Thought I could actually get it cheaper on the interstate when I went up to pick this computer up, but the closest Love's, even my 10-cent gallon, it was actually more expensive. They were 10.50 something. I think downtown Snowflake, it's running 460, 470 maybe. Yeah, it's pretty darn high. I'll have to talk about. Oh yeah, thank you. Let's talk about notifications while we get it up here. So I know I used to like to watch China Uncensored with Chris Chappell because he really he spanks China pretty hard, but he does it with a lot of snarky humor. He's kind of fun to watch. He's a guy that makes it. He can make it funny. And occasionally I try to emulate him. I try to throw in a little snarky humor here too. Sometimes it's just kind of hard to do given the gravity of the subject I cover, but maybe I need to work on that again. But YouTube does not like channels that spank China, which I do that too. And that's probably my problem. So when I go searching for me, his stuff wouldn't come up my feed, and I'd type in the channel name, and it wouldn't even pull it up. It would pull up everything else. I type in his name. I had the hardest time getting this. And he talks about this sometimes. Somebody trying to type in China Uncensored to get things like he said Uncle Goose. I believe it because I would be searching for him and I couldn't find him. I had to do it so much. I searched for him so often. I subscribed to him. I'd bang the bell and everything. I couldn't find him. But after I did it enough times, he started showing up. Now he shows in my feed fairly regular. But I mean, I had to really spank it to get it. I mean, spank it on the keyboard over and over and over and over and over and over just to get it where it would come up. But once I did that enough, his became a regular featured video in my feeds. So I usually see a video, maybe not every day, it should be every day, but about every other day he pops up. So, and I do like watching him. He's one of my favorites. But I had a hard time getting it to come up, and it's happening to me, I think, with a lot of my viewers. Now, some of you guys tell me you see it regularly, got no problem with notifications, but I'm hearing from a lot of people that they're not getting notifications. So that's what you do. You got to search for my channel. Now, maybe you've watched me enough that searching for it won't be hard. Just come in and check. I've been posting a video almost every day. Tried to for a while to do two a day. I've probably fallen off the last few days because I just had my hands too full, but I'm getting one up probably about every other day at least. So come back and check every day or every other day to see what the latest is. And if I don't have a video on this channel, I might have one over on Galactic Grace. Oh, we got another great day. We got a Michigan Woodsman. Hey, how you doing, Michigan Woodsman? Morning, Greg. Mega LeakCon 2029. Well, that's good to hear. Hey, were you with us, sitting with us in that fireside chat we had about when we were talking about forming survival tribes by any chance? There was a crowd of us sitting around in an area of the lobby where there was a fireplace. And we talked there for about 3 or 4 hours about forming survival tribes. We set up real late. Were you part of that crowd? Yeah. Oh, Michigan Woodsman, I'm glad to see you. Somebody met me at LeakCon. That's awesome. Hoppy Hiker making some sausage gravy at 3 in the morning. Oh, I love that. I might come over and get some. Hey, I can make some killer sausage gravy. I'm waiting in Michigan. Woodsman answers that. StreamYard, don't know what's up with the morning not sleeping. Uh-oh. All nets. More than two would be better. Yeah, I'm about to catnip tea. I didn't know people would drink catnip tea. We got watching 75. Should be more than that. Hexafus. It will give you nightmares. What, catnip tea? If you want to be up the rest of your night, begin studying biodigital convergence. Yikes. That sounds scary. Yeah, that'll keep you up worrying. Yes, Iran's been showing their true face for 47 years, and now they face the 47th president. Is that like a coincidence? That's kind of strange, right? Carney was a weffer. What's a weffer? Right, and like a bank. Yeah, he was one of the top. He's definitely, yeah, weffer. I get you, WEF, big time, big time. And he was running the Bank of London at one time, which is globalism to the hilt. So he's over in London and England running stuff. Somehow comes back to Canada and becomes a prime minister. God help all my Canadian buddies in here. Bounce them off the ionosphere. Those are direct impact weapons. Yeah, ham radio, yeah, it bounces off the ionosphere. Listen, Central Texas, Jeff Reeves. All right, I got a daughter in Texas, just above Houston. All right, so we got a. Yep, it was outside. Well, we were in a off the kind of like a little lobby area off the hallway. But there was a fireplace there. You remember that? My cats already love sleeping all over me. Yep. I'll tell you something. little meeting we had about survival tribes is why I'm here in Arizona. Because there was a lady in that meeting who had a farm up in New York. And I looked at her and I said, "You're going to be a lamb chop when all the people pour out of New York City hunting something to eat." I said, "You're going to be a lamb chop." She took it serious. And she did some heavy duty research on what she thought would be the safest place in the United States to move to. They sold their place in New York and moved to this area. I kid you not. And then they invited me over for Thanksgiving dinner in 2019. And so I go visit. And I went from there to LA to film episodes of, I think they call it Strange Earth. It's on the Weather Channel. I always confuse the title. I never seen it. I was on these TV shows. I never saw them because I don't have TV. I did get one set upstairs, but I haven't really got it all set up. I only wanted to watch YouTube on it, and it won't let me because I was trying to set up my phone, and you can't use it. It thinks I'm overseas in Japan because my phone thinks I'm in China. I can't get that reset. But anyway, so yeah, I'd like to hear more from there, Michigan Woodsman. So honestly, that meeting at LeakCon is why I'm here. So I'll tell Rex that says he's the reason I'm here. Yeah, huh? I'm the reason you're there. What? Him and Diamond. I think Diamond did more to pull me into LeakCon than Rex did. Uh, it's funny. I knew them both before they knew each other. When they both wound up living, when Rex moved to Pagosa Springs, I was like, "Oh, I got another big YouTube buddy in Pagosa Springs." They didn't even know each other yet. That was funny. But they really hit it off after that. So anyway, so we made it to the. Did I skip anything? Because I went to the bottom of the chat real fast there. Oh yeah, I did skip some. Yeah, he's a weffer. Let's see. Paula Knights has been worried about you and your former employer. Now, I've actually interviewed for a job that actually it's another contract that my company I've been working for has. So I may wind up still in the same company if that job goes through. So guys, pray for me. I could use some prayers and that goes through. It was a good interview. I think it went well, but I could still use some prayers. Paul, yep, he does. Got to run. Got critters running outside. Oh, Southern grits. I love some grits. Gizzo. We got Gizzo in the house. Made it. So heads, how you doing, Gizzo? Hello. Give me some Tennessee honey. All right. I still got some Alabama honey. It's almost Tennessee honey, as I lived just 8 miles south of the border when I was in Tennessee. Catnip tea works on babies with colic. Well, I wish I'd known that. My son was a kid. He had some bad colic. Andy sings. How you doing, Andy sings? Thank you, Greg, for all you've done. Do to help humanity. I try. It's beyond words. It's something I get when you cross my mind. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Much love and kindness to you from Australia. Andrea. All right. So Andy sings. You're Andy or you're Andrea. So Paul, it's northwest corner of Arkansas. It's supposed to be. Yeah, it's a pretty good place. We got Michelle that comes in a lot to our chat. She's from up there. And so was Wise Owl. She actually had a survival tribe area set up just for them. Both Andy and Andrea. Okay. That's cool. Andy and Andrew. And you sing. What do you sing? What do you sing, Andy, Andrea? Anyway, I said I was going to show y'all something. And I was talking about how the A-10 Warthog and those Apache attack helicopters can tear up some fast boats, like their can openers. Well, guess what? When I was in the Army, see, there used to be in World War II, one of the best fighter jets was a P, not jets, it was a turboprop plane with two engines and a box tail. And one of the best fighter planes in World War II was called a P-38. And I guess they figured it was a can opener because it could also sink a bunch of ships. It was a fighter plane, not a jet, but turboprop. Back in the days when turboprops in World War II was what we had in America. The Germans invented the jet fighter right at the end of the war, but it was too late to do them a lot of good. But when I was in the Army, we had a can opener. Oh, I told you too much. Anybody know what this thing is? I'm at the ass and here I'm talking too much. Anybody recognize this? Paul Knight's in North Carolina. Not in the mountains, probably near the coast. So if the crust slips, they'll get a big wave. Oh, hey, I used to live in Spring Lake back when I was stationed at Fort Bragg. How close are you to that? Anybody know what this thing is? I think I got my original ones from the Army upstairs in a drawer. I went to a little veterans thing Saturday and picked this up. Can opener, that's right. What do we call it? Fork tooth devil. What do we call these things back in the Army days? Anybody know? It would be attached. We'd have a dog tag. Now, this ain't a dog tag, but it's kind of emergency helpline thing. Yeah, we called it a P-38. That's what we called it when I was in the Army. May I ask you all for some prayers? I've been homeless for over 5 years in Oz, multiple sclerosis, and yet my music and singing keeps me alive. Wow. All right, we'll definitely pray for you, Andy. So you've been coming in for a while. I've been noticing you in the past. We'll definitely pray for you here tonight. Well, we called it a P-38 when I was in the Army. And I don't think they issued those or still was issuing them when I got out of the Army. Because this was made to open sea rat cans. When I went in the Army, we were eating sea rations. And some of those sea rations, I think, dated back to World War II. Definitely, a lot of them are from Vietnam, P-38. That's what we always called it, P-38. Well, yeah, the John Wayne bar was inside the sea rats. That would be the chocolate bar that always had a cracker next to it. And that cracker always wound up tasting just like the chocolate bar. I hate turkey, but believe it or not, canned turkey and sea rats was pretty good. I really hate turkey, Jim, but it was moist. It was actually pretty good. So I actually kind of liked the sea rats. They were pretty good, I thought. And when the MREs came out in the pouches, oh, I hated them. I thought they were awful. I hated those MREs. Yeah, we'll definitely pray for you, Andrea. We're going to be praying for you in just a little bit. I hated those MREs when they first came out. But this was the open sea rats. The sea rats used to come in a little box, and it had a meat, probably a vegetable, and all canned. Everything was canned. They even had crackers in a can, but the cracker came with a cookie next to it, a chocolate cookie, and they called that the John Wayne bar. P-38 John Wayne 2 sizes. So now, one thing I've always liked, I've told you guys, I did videos about my 3 favorite knives. My 3 favorite knives are a bolo knife or a big knife because it's a multi-tool. The Tinker version of the Swiss Army knife. It's also multi-tool, but small. You can put it in your pocket. And this knife has can opener built into it that works the same way as that P-38. Now, here's what you got to know. The grid goes down. Those little, you're going to need a manual can opener. And those you buy those little twist tops, those little suckers wear out. These guys don't ever wear out. The whole knife may wear out, but that little can opener blade, that'll be good for a long, 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 long time. And be honest, I've never seen a P38 wear out. It's a folding mechanism. I imagine it could wear out. I mean, I guess it could give out here to joint eventually. But shoot, you could always weld it in there and just have it made like this all the time. But you kind of walk around the can when you open it up. And that's how I learned how to use those when I was in the Army opening cigarettes. And so I've used those like on my Swiss Army knives, also open cans many times. You need a can opener in a hurry. You don't have no electrical power. You don't have one of them fancy can. I don't have a fancy can opener here. So that's it. P38 does the trick. I even call that blade a P38 on my pocket knife just because that's what it reminds me of. It does the same thing. But it's not made the same. It's one piece. This is a folding piece. Why? Because you need to be able to wear it next to your chest. So, yeah, we always had these kind of chains with our dog chains, these little chains like the dropped it. But, yeah, those are handy to have. It's a good prepper item. So that's a good prepper tip for tonight. Now, we're going to say a prayer here in a moment. And we'll probably do the egg guess, but I got to get it. My dad brought his home from War II, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's where you keep them on your dog tags. That way you wouldn't lose it, because you always had to have it. But could have been my brother. He was, yeah, well, okay. Why are you up? Of course, it's 2:25 there. Yeah, it's 2:26 here now. The reason I'm up so late tonight is because it took me so long to get the Zoom going and to get this computer going. I was going to do this. This is a computer I've been using lately, this little thing here. I've been using that to do my podcast from because I turned in the big one to get a refund. They didn't refund it. They said they fixed it, and they partially fixed it, but when I opened it up, I wiped the computer. I took everything off of it because I did not expect to get it back. They did not refund me. They claim, oh, I could fix it, so I didn't have to refund you. In fact, they claim that the refunds are only good for the first 30 days of the 1-year warranty, which I didn't know that. Anyway, but I got different stories from their different service reps at Geek Squad, and then all tell me the same thing. And then they tell me that I want to pick this thing up. So I was pretty aggravated. But here's the thing. Because this computer, I'd turned it in and had it repaired once before for overheating. And it overheated right off the film. Now, it's not overheated right now, but it's not 70 degrees in there either. Once it gets over 70 degrees is where it started overheating. Sometimes this house just gets hot. Sometimes it did beforehand. Maybe they got that kind of sort of fixed, but it's still too much power and too small a chassis. It's a systemic problem with this model. When I got it back, I had to go through the bit locker thing, which is a pain in the rear end to get it going again. But the worst thing of all was when I started playing sound on it, it sounded like the speakers were busted. And, that kind of, how a busted speaker sounds? And I thought, my God, they did something to the computer when they repaired it. They broke something else. They didn't repair the internal camera on it. But I had a hard time getting Zoom to run with it. I didn't have any problems getting Zoom to run when I first had it. I didn't have any problems getting Zoom to run on this thing. But then once I got Zoom running, my camera didn't work with the Zoom. So I had problems today with my news aggregator source. I had problems with this computer. Plus, I spent a lot of time trying to transfer files to it, and it hung up at some point, quit. So I got to go back and figure out where it messed up at. And I wasn't, that's just a fraction of files I'm going to have to put back on this computer if I'm really going to use it. But the speaker problem was an issue. But I followed up, I'm going to use it. But then this computer, today, the speaker just totally quit working. So really? So I'm going to have to turn that one back in and get it fixed. And then maybe turn this one in and get it fixed again, too, or something. So I'm kind of lipping on computers. There's this old adage in prepping that tells you that 3 is 2, 2 is 1, and 1 is none. And sometimes 3 is none. I got 3 generators out there all broke down in a day. 3 separate generators, 2 of them brand new. All break down. Boom, 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 boom. A lot of people think that, well, I got a generator. If it goes down, I'm set. No, you ain't. That thing ain't worth a dog. Generators are, if about the only kind of generator, right? It's late for me. The only kind of generator that might keep going for a year would be a brand new gen rack. I knew a guy here who ran gen racks for a year. Then I bought one and it ran for a few months. And it went, you know. Um, but I bought brand new Predators and brand new other things and just watched them. The Predator I got at Harbor Freight. I'll make sure if you buy those from Harbor Freight, they always tell you for reliability purposes, don't get the extended warranty. If you're buying something electrical from Harbor Freight, get the extended warranty because it's going to break. It's going to go. I think I'm on my fourth generator from uh, Harbor Freight. I mean, in just a few months. I mean, I wasn't running generators for a year. I built my solar array out here. None of them would last. They would just, and I bought, different other generators, different brands, and they would be dying, choking. You know, my friend has Genrec, and it didn't do well. There you go. Don't rely on generators for long-term power. If you think that you're going to have power because you got a generator, there's two problems with it. One is you better have an alternate source to make your own fuel from wood gas, or have a big propane tank and have a propane capable generator. And just figure that generator is going to die after a few months. You can't run them full time, none of them. You can, if you got two generators, you can alternate. I would alternate plus turn mine off at night when I went to bed. That's what I did. I turn it off and I'd go out every morning and start a generator every morning until I got my solar running. Now I got the generators for backup in case I have battery issues or something else. I still have my generators out there. They're backup. I got a big throw switch. I can go from one to the other. And I wired the solar the same. My house is wired according to the outputs of my generator. So I wired the solar the same way. And that way I can just throw the switch and it's just straightforward. I can switch this out from generator power to solar power and all out there at my battery building. I ought to go through that stuff for you guys one day. Greg, how's your solar generator? Well, my solar generation, I've got these things they call solar generators you buy. Those aren't generators. Those are battery storage and distribution units. Well, they call them generators defies me. The solar panel is the generator when it comes to solar. That's what generates electricity. It's the solar panel. But then what I've got is I've got 9 kW solar panels. I've got coming through the charge controllers to a bank of lead acid batteries. And I've got 32 6-volt lead acid batteries, I believe, but I got them strung up where there's 48-volt system basically with 3 strings. And then I needed to add a couple more strings. Is what I need. I need a little bit more battery backup. Now, those aren't cheap. Why not go with lead acid? One, they're not so temperature sensitive. 2, if there's an EMP, what's the most expensive thing I got out there? Batteries. If there's an EMP, those batteries will survive it because they don't have the built-in battery management systems all your lithium ion and lithium iron batteries have. They all require a built-in little charge management device called a battery management system. And those things can fry. Those are little computers. Now I need to get some, was planning to eventually buy some more charge controllers and some more inverters. The inverter is what comes out of the battery, and it turns my power to 120 volt AC. Some people run their homes on DC voltage. Some people go 6 volts, 24 volts. Some do 48 volts. And then they got DC appliances. But, I just thought, shoot, I'm just going to use the regular stuff. I'm not going to appliance wise. So I'm just going, and sometimes they'll have like one little inverter to run like a freezer. I knew somebody that did that. Their house was like on 12 volts, and they had an inverter to run a freezer, smaller inverter. I got two inverters out there, two 6 kW inverters being fed from a 9 kW system. So I have no. I had a problem with one of the inverters when I first started out. First day it was 4th of July is when I turned the system on. One of the inverters died about 10 hours into operation. I turned it in, eventually got another one. So I ran single string inverter for a while, but that inverter eventually had the fan went out on it. As long as I got another fan blown on it, so far it's worked just fine. We'll have to see this summer. I was hoping to get some more stuff, but I've got to probably, I can't buy more of that stuff if I don't have a job. If I can keep the job, I can get that stuff. Right now, I am struggling just to figure out how to get enough uh, good black compost to put in my trenches I dug for my garden and to buy fencing to put around it. It's going to be a struggle. So yeah, I'm up. Well, we got 82 in the house. We've grown here. FSS guy says that too. FSS. You talking about FSS? Is that Brad from who has a place in Florida and another up in Alabama? Is that what we're talking about? What's his channel's name? I used to watch him a lot, but is that what we're talking about, Brad? He's got a place up in Wadowee. People don't tell you that, but I know that. not, I won't say where in Wadowee. And he's got some place in Florida too. Full spectrum survival. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was trying to remember the channel. I saw that. Yeah, it's Brad. What's his last name? I emailed him. He wouldn't even email me back. And it's like, really? So I know somebody else that lives over close to him. I know one of his neighbors. One of his neighbors is a friend of mine from way back. Got told me I should YouTube way before I started YouTubing. Uh, so Brad, full spectrum survival one. Yeah, yeah, he used to say it all the time. Yeah, he did. That was one of his favorite sayings. But I'm a system safety engineer, avionics system safety engineer, and redundancy is one of the things I talk about a lot. That's one of the key tenets of system safety. So if I wasn't redundant, that'd be sad. you know, I usually carry a knife in each pocket and a nug in each pocket. And I got redundant nugs, redundant knives, redundant lighters, and plenty of cigars. Redundant. Hey, how you doing, the plant guy? The one plant guy. Okay. So I'm tell you what we'll do. We're going to say a prayer now for Andy Sings, Andrea, and while we're at it, pray that I get this job. But Andrea Sings is homeless, and she's got multiple sclerosis. That's rough. That's like she's dealing with some tough things. That's like triple rough. Really is. That is tough. So let's pray real earnestly for her. Him, her. I don't know if it's Andrea or Andy or both. Is a I assume it's an individual. Lost my case with the city. Oh. Are you Sherman? Are you my buddy who got my projector? Andrea. Okay. Let's pray for Andrea, folks. Definitely. That's what we're going to do now. Now, this is not a. Okay. Hey, I know who you are then. Very good. I'm sad to hear you lost your case. He was growing in his front yard. Everybody should be growing food in their front yards. But the HOAs hate that. Don't you grow grass? What a waste. What a waste. Should be growing food in their front yards. You know, we could feed the country if we just grew food in our front yards. All this talk about starvation is silly. That's the way to do it. I'm sad you lost that case. Yep. So, all right, let's do that. We'll pray for him. Maybe you can get some relief. Can you appeal your case? Can you appeal your case to the city? All right, let's this. I'm not a religious channel, so I don't tell you how to pray. We got people from different religious backgrounds. I'm okay with that. So, but I do believe in a greater creator and believe in the power of prayer. So I'm not going to lead you in prayer. I have a HOA. I have food in the front yard. They can kiss where I can't. Well, they went after him for it. He was on the local news actually, and he shared a video with me. He was on the local news. So the city's trying to shut him down. So I guess he appealed it to the city from the HOA. Well, you know, it's basically realtors in your city councils. And realtors want to sell real estate. Or if they're not realtors, they're getting their money from realtors or campaign finances. That's what usually runs that, and all the people come and build your stuff. Those organizations are corrupt to the hilt. I can appeal in the Superior Court. Wherever if you get a chance to appeal, keep appealing. That's just all wrong. That's all wrong. These HOAs are terrible. Anyway, we need to call some kind of popular movement for growing food in your front yard. That's what it ought to be. All right, we'll pray for you, but we're going to pray real hard for Andrea. And like I said, I'm not going to lead you in prayer, but we're going to have a prayer. So everybody knows what we're praying for. Pray for our troops overseas and pray that this whole thing with Iran wraps up soon without too much problem. Well, let's pray that it gets wrapped up once and for all. It's done with and over. But mainly, let's pray tonight for Andrea. I also put in prayer for me. I get my job, but mainly prayer for Andrea. Her needs are the greatest. I mean, she's in our family here, and her needs are great. They don't tell me what to do. Got wood in the front yard too. Wood stove. Some places the HOAs are worse than others. Unfortunately, he lives in California. My videos, there we go. Got fuzzy. Yep, he lives in California. Bless his heart. All right, let's do a little prayer session here. If anybody else has a prayer request, throw it in, and maybe the folks will sit. You can always say a prayer before you go to bed. Some of you guys are getting up, but you'll go to bed tomorrow night, right? All right, let's do that. Let's pray now. Amen. So you got a lot of positive energy, Andrea. I hope you feel that. Hope you feel that. So hang on a minute. It marks my head where I was have my hands up there. Hang on just a second. There's kitchen. Other desk. Got something to get? I left it over here. And that's for our edges tonight. Now, hang, don't start guessing till I get back. Hang on. Wait till I get back here to start guessing. So I can see. Thy will be done. Yes. See, Shelley. All right, folks. How many eggs did I get from the hens tonight? How many eggs did I harvest today? Not tonight. It wasn't tonight, but I waited toward the end of the day. I used to go on our pen twice a day. But I'm back. The one tab quit. Everything else worked. Okay. Where's the crazy critters? Oh, I one back here behind me is sleeping now, thankfully. She was chewing on my ankle a little bit ago. How many eggs? Oh, Michael Riff got it. Michael Rift got it. 8 eggs. Michael Rift guessed it. The second guess that came out of the chute got it. We got 8 eggs today. Hey, Minnesota Keeper, how you doing, buddy? He's got some hens. 6 has been my average number lately. Some nights it wouldn't be 6, but 6 has been my average number lately. Yeah, back. Wow. Am I in? See in chat. Okay, I see the chat room. Yeah. My internet went down, folks. The funny thing is, I don't see on my screens, I don't see the, you're sending them back. Okay, I got a delay. There I am. All right, I know I'm back now. There's a certain time limit. If it don't come back up, that it just kills the broadcast. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a Starlink thing. Maybe in the wee hours they think it's okay to do some kind of reset or something. This has been happening a lot. Yeah, I'm on Starlink. Used to didn't happen at all, but it's happening very regularly now. So I'm glad I'm back. Had another YT screen open and it was fine, but Greg's tab wouldn't work. Yeah, I was my Starlink dropped out apparently. Now I'm not showing the chat scrolling over here. I'm sitting on this computer. I'm seeing my face over there. But I saw the chat first here. That's odd. So that is really odd. All right, well, I'm glad I'm back. All right, so Michael Fight guessed the number of eggs. No sound. Somebody, Claire says I was 5 by 5. Change the rebooting time. From Starlink, I don't know how to set anything on Starlink. It's not very user friendly. It did some oddball things to me lately. I started the stream and it fixed the sound. I got fiber, and this is the first time I had issues. Greg, mine went down just before yours did. Oh, okay. I think maybe they got a system reset in the wee hours. All right, guys, how many Easter eggs I get today? How many Easter eggs? That's the next guess. We got to get this and get out of here. How many Easter eggs a day? The chat over here is starting to caught up. What's going on with it? I have to refresh on this computer. All righty. Well, Michael Fick is hitting. Oh, wait. Gizmo got it first. Gizmo got it first. There's three eggs, 3 Easter eggs. Gizmo got it first. Michael Fike, you got the first guess, but Gizmo beat you to the Easter egg guess. It is 3. It is 3. I'm going to hit the refresher. How come I got video here, but no chat? Over here, I had chat show up before the video. I don't get that. I don't get it. I mean, we got in the house. I'm probably thinking we probably lost a few. No, we didn't lose too many. We still got 83 in the house. Wow. In spite of the glitch. All right. Gizmo and Michael Fick got the total, and Gizmo got Easter eggers. Beats me. All righty, guys. Here they are. Let me show you all the eggs. Show me the money. These darn eggs cost me a lot of money. My chicken's eating way too much feed for this few eggs. Be honest. Woo, they eat a lot of feed. Costly. I'm making a chicken garden. Hopefully I can knock down those feed costs of that chicken garden. The objective is to be able to grow enough food, not to have to buy any. But I'm about to work on that. I'm trying to get there. I think Y2 has Greg issues. Yeah, YouTube don't like. I mean, when you got a channel that has a video that's practically going viral from browse results, where people are searching for the name, the topic, but the notifications are, algorithms supposed to, if a video is popular, they're supposed to think, oh, people like this, let's show it around. No, they ain't showing it to nobody. I mean, literally no one. So that's making a lot of sense to me now, because that channel is growing in spite of YouTube. Because I'm putting out some content that some people are looking for. Now, the oddball thing is, like the Amy Eskridge video, I recorded the first one, and there's tons of other channels replaying it in snippets. They get more views than I do. I knew her. Most of those guys didn't, except Jeremy Rise and Mark Sokol. And I think their video is disgusting. Really disgusting. I don't think they should have ever posted it, to be honest. On my Galactic Greg's channel, the videos about Amy Eskridge, the anti-gravity videos, the very first videos on my channel. So if you go, I'll go back over. I'll show you guys. Hang on. I think I still got that open. Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. We'll go share one more time. We late. I got it. It's 3 o'clock in the morning here. I got to turn in. Where's my share screen? My darn rooster be crowing before I get up, before I lay down. All right, here it is. This is my Galactic Greg's channel. I'm a space guy. I got this. This is what you'll see when you first come in. These are videos I think, whoever's watching be interested in. Now, you can click on videos and get a better look at what I got. And that's really the way to do it. Come in. You can't do this on a phone, I don't think. But you click on videos. And when you get that up, let's see, it shows the latest first usually. And this video right here, I'm talking, this is the one I made about her after she passed. And this one has got quite a few views, 8,800. I can't get that many views on green grads with anything now. But I just did this one about anti-gravity. It's got 469 views, not all that great. But if I come in here and click most popular video, it's, there's two other videos. So you can see there's 4 videos about alcohol. This one just passed that one. My first video on this channel was this one. And it was doing fabulous. It was growing real fast. And at first, Amy was really thrilled about it because she had started this institute for, exotic science. And she was trying to get funding and projects for developing anti-gravity. She wanted to be able to fund different people that were doing anti-gravity research. And she was trying to set up an institute as a clearinghouse to do that outside of the government and all these other organizations that try to squelch that stuff. And so she was finding people that wanted to do the research and potential investors. But then she started getting harassment from all darker forces started coming after her. So she called me up and says, Greg, could you please take those videos down? Which I thought, man, this is my best performing video. It's going to build my channel. But yes, Amy, I will. I took them off air. I took them down. Now, I've had some people make comments about, well, yeah, seeking fame. Like she was out seeking. No, she wasn't. She went quiet. She did talk, and the videos y'all see over now was supposed to have been private videos within the circle of people that she thought was her confidants, like at Mark Sokol and Jimmy Rice. Yeah, supposedly Mark Sokol goes, well, I got my anti-gravity stuff started through Amy. Yeah, what did he take from her? I don't trust him. I'll be honest. They should have never aired that video. It was supposed to have been a personal conversation, private conversation. But in any event, uh, they they put it out there. But anyway, there's another channel that verbatim copied this video. And it cut me out. It just cut me out. So after she passed, I reposted these videos and I took and put them together to make one long video. And this one's got the most views of any video on my channel, 39,000 views. So my top 4 videos are all about Amy. I knew her. I also knew Ning Lee, so I'll do a video specifically on Ning Lee. But I did mention Ning Lee in a couple of videos I have on here. So that's most popular. If you go the oldest, you can see, here I am with Rex. I mean, after I covered Amy, the next video I posted was Rex, for those that know Rex. So I'm going to interview this guy, hopefully soon again, Dr. Richard Hoover. Here I proved the Earth is a sphere based on a solar eclipse. There I am with Wernher von Braun. They took that burst down. Tore down a lot of the buildings around there too since that video was made. Yeah, some of my oldest videos. Well, SpaceX nuke Boca Chica. Still might. So check that out. Tell the 2 Star Hoppers. Well, one of them was the DCX that was in my backyard back in the days. Here's a panel of Apollo old-timers, guys that engineered the Apollo launch vehicle and the lunar rover. And that video only got 188 views. I was disappointed. Had a stellar panel. Not a lot of views for that one. Anyway, so let's give you some ideas. But if you come to the latest videos, now this has been the rage lately, all this stuff about the missing people doing UFO research. So that's been my last 7 videos. And this one right here, don't have that many views, but that covers my influence on picking the the way the federal government chose to keep both commercial space and what became the SLS program. I'm the guy who devised, come up with the compromise, and put it to Senator Nelson. So I think politically, I got a lot of credit for this and SpaceX, and even New Glenn. So you should see this video. It only got 258 views. Jeez. Anyway, and essence says, hey, we got to do space if we want to continue to exist. How do we prevent AI genocide? I got some interesting videos back here. 7 alien civilizations found, potential Dyson spheres, space debris. What I just said, that Chinese launcher could create Kessler data centers in space, different things. Check them out, guys. Galactic Gregs. Yeah, I was real sad about Amy. Real sad. Some people don't know her. They were making real snide comments in some of the comments. And, Amy was a good girl. She was. She was smart. And she did what she was doing. It came from her heart. And some people thought her dad did it. No, her dad loved her. That's some people they get ideas that are just, no, none of that. None of that. That's nuts. They were good people, real good people. Her dad, her mom, Amy. That's nuts, just nuts. I breaks my heart to hear some things people. When some people thought I did her in, because I asked the question about, what about the research that goes up missing? Guys, that's what everybody doing that kind of work worries about. Anyway, I'm sorry, guys, but I got to go. I got to hit hay. I got some processing to do before I hit the hay. But guys, just letting you know, those are things to watch. That's my other channel. And right now it's done better than Green Greg's. It's only got 6,000 subscribers. Green Greg's got 67,000. But neither one of them are making it to YouTube. I'm going to tell you that. YouTube is not helping. That's why I want you guys to keep coming back here, check my videos, check my channel regularly, subscribe, bang the bell, click all. Make sure you leave some comments in the comment section after I post a video. And share my videos, please. Please. Anyway, and I had a couple people tonight that did go to the switchofgreg.com, and I thank you for that. Because I get the email. Like I said, I'm going some big corporate thing comes to me. I can see right here, two individuals tonight, so I appreciate that. Oh, okay. Very good. Is Davin still in the house? He never responded after I brought him up later. All righty, folks. Yes, we're going to call it a night. Now, stop sharing. Jesus, what am I doing still sharing? Oh, it's late. I'm tired. I won't get any sleep tonight because it's late. And that sun's going to be up in just a little bit. And I know some of you guys are already looking at sunshine. New days is probably bright sunshine where she's at. Probably been that way for a couple hours, right? What's the website? The website for the Switch, switchofgreg.com. The website for my other channel, Galactic Gregs. You're on this channel. Let me show you something. And I don't know if you can do this on the phone or not. Shoot, I don't use phones much. I'll do share screen. I'll show that real quick. I'll show a quick way to find it. Of course, it's Galactic Gregs, an S without an apostrophe. There's a channel, it's a Galactic Greg, and he's a preacher, and there's one that's got an apostrophe S. He's a comic book salesman. So Galactic Greg's S, no apostrophe. But now, if you come in on this channel, right here. And you go to the page that says post. You will find that I post videos from Galactic Greg's over here a lot. Sometimes I do some surveys. So you can come here and click on one of these videos and it'll take you to my channel. My other channel. All right, guys. Well, I got to call it a night. So, hey, I want to thank you, super chatters. Thank you so much. And those of you that went to the switchwithgreg.com, thank you for that. And thank you, mods. New Days was sharing some links. Is New Days still with us? She probably had to go out and do her chores. Feed her dogs, her goons. Rest well, Greg. No bad words tonight. We're glad to hear that. I've been good. Glad to hear that. Well, I got some people really attack me over on Facebook. I got some hardcore liberals. One of them is a lawyer, corporate lawyer. He attacks me, and one attacks me is a airline pilot. They're both like uber liberal. And then there's a science fiction author who's won some Hugos. But see, I keep them tested. I keep them all wrapped up in knots. But they hate me. Apparently, especially the sci-fi writer. Oh my gosh, he cusses. Ooh, it's terrible. It shows you what's coming from the heart. Terrible, terrible. Yeah, I got a Facebook page, Space Greg. Space Greg on Facebook. All righty. Thank you all for watching. And to one and all, a good night, good day, wherever you are. And in honor of Granny Lana, who used to be one of our family members that passed away, she always loved it when I said this. Ho, ho,